Okay, Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Today, inshallah, we are going to study the relationship between the budget deficit and the different macroeconomic variables, like the interest rate, aggregate saving, aggregate consumption, and economic growth, or the GDP. Before going to the relationship between, or studying the relationship between the budget deficit and the different variables, let's ask some questions related to the interest rate and its relationship with the investment and saving. As you know, the economy, the very simple economy with no government, we have two sides: the household sector and the investors or the business sector. The household sector, or let's here focus on the business sector, the firms, companies, and the business sector. And here, the household sector. For investment, let us assume that the business sector or the firms tends to invest. Okay? And they want to borrow money. They want to borrow money from different sides. So they have to borrow money from the financial sector, from banking. If the interest rate is high, what will happen to their borrowing money or demand for money for investment purposes? Goes down, yes, because increasing the interest rate is the cost of borrowing. So increasing the interest rate leads to increasing the cost of borrowing. What will happen to the aggregate investment? Goes down. So this leads to a decreasing in investment demand. So the capital stock here, this is the interest rate, and in the horizontal axis here we have the capital stocks, investment, quantum of investment, or the size of investment, and here's the interest rate. As the interest rate goes up, the investment goes down, or the capital stock goes down. So we have a negative relationship between the interest rate and the investment. So we will find this curve which represents the negative relationship between the interest rate and investment. What about the households here? Households here, the consumers, they are the lenders here. They have money to lend it for the house or the business sector. And some other, like the government, but here we're talking about a very simple economy, no government, okay? Two sides, just we have the business sector and households. As the interest rate goes up, let us assume that you have a money, and the interest rate goes up. You are the lender here. You have a supply for lending money. What will happen? As it increases, here we have a positive relationship between interest rate and your saving in this case it's your saving. ده بتعمل saving للانفسترز. هذا كوست، بس هذا saving. وas the interest rate goes up saving goes up as well. مظبوط؟ إذا هنا for the households interest rate goes up saving goes up، اللي هو بالنسبة له investment، مش investment بمعنى investment لكن هو saving returns. مظبوط؟ it gets returns for the household, so it's called saving. It looks like investment for him. So there is a positive relationship between interest rate and saving. So we can say that this is the supply here represents the positive relationship between interest rate and saving. هذا supply and this is the demand. So as we have one interest rate in the financial market, so the interest rate is determined when demand for money equals supply for money. مظبوط؟ إذا هيك this is the equilibrium interest rate. There is investment here or capital. So if the interest rate was high above the equilibrium، بمعنى الصورة وين؟ زي ما تروح it looks like the goods market. Someone went to the market to buy a trouser. He finds it $100, 100 shekel. The producer asks him to pay 100 to 20. The negotiations between them reach to the optimal or equilibrium price. It looks like this. It's the same idea because we have two sides. Someone demand for money and someone lends money. The negotiations between them reach us to the equilibrium interest rate. Now, if the interest rate was above the equilibrium here, let me see. Supply of money. If the interest rate was above the equilibrium, let us assume it R. This is the equilibrium star R1. At R1, supply of money is bigger than demand for money. بمعنى الهاوسهولدز عنده saving أعلى من investment demand. سوري يعني لو الطلب على مظبوط ولا لا؟ So interest rate goes down. Vice versa. If interest rate was below the equilibrium here، هذا مو غير لمين؟ للانفسترز. انترست ريت قليل لانه هو عنده عامل بونز تمام وببيعها وانترست ريت قليله اللي بده ياخذ منك 1000 ويرجع لك اياهم 1002 شيكل. It's really good يعني for him. تمام. So at the lower interest rates the investment demand is high. السيفنج راح يكون اقل. صح؟ ولا it's not feasible for the households to invest in bonds here under the low interest rates. مظبوط؟ So this tends to there's excess demand, shortage supply. So interest rate goes up until the equilibrium is restored here. تمام؟ Clear? تمام. As the demand for money increases or for investment, this leads to increasing in interest rate and the investment. As the demand increased, there is a rightward shifting in demand curve. Interest rate goes up, and then size of investment goes up as well. Demand goes down, leftward shifting means interest rate goes down and size of investment goes down. What about supply? As supply goes or leftward or shifts left, this is the original situation, B1, S1, E1, R1, investment 1, or capital. As supply decline, saving decline, شو اللي بصير؟ leftward shifting, low saving قل. هذا السبلاي كان represent saving للhouseholds. To S2 شو اللي بصير؟ interest rate goes up, investment goes down from I1 to I2. تمام؟ What else? Let's add the government to the economy. Before that, for the households, when there is no government, their income, why? For the households, the income is divided into two parts, consumption and saving. مظبوط? For the households, the income is divided into two parts, C plus S. Consumption plus saving. For the investors, aggregate demand تبعهم, aggregate expenditures is divided into two parts. When there is no government, consumption plus investment. جزء بيعملوا فيه consumption، جزء بيروحوا بيشتروا equipment، بيعملوا buildings، مظبوط ولا لا؟ تمام. At equilibrium, with no government, what do you say? Or where is the equilibrium occur? The equilibrium is restored when Y equals aggregate expenditure or aggregate supply equals aggregate demand. So C plus is equals C plus I or C subtracted with C. So saving equals investment at equilibrium. مظبوط? Let's add the government, or here we can say injection equals leakages out of spending stream. Let's add the government to the economy here. Now, we will add the government here. When there is a government, we will add the government. So here we have three market arenas in the economy: households, private sector, and the government. Why? For the households, income equals how much? What? C plus S plus taxes, because part of income goes for, C plus S plus taxes. What about the aggregate demand or aggregate expenditures? C plus I plus G. Right? تمام. At equilibrium, aggregate expenditure equals what? at equilibrium, Y equals aggregate expenditure. So C plus S plus taxes equals C plus I plus G. So S plus T equals I plus G. How much is saving here? Saving equals I plus G minus taxes. تمام؟ هذا saving, aggregate saving. Let's go to something else. Saving is divided into two types or two parts. We have two types of saving: personal saving and public saving. Personal or private saving plus public saving. Personal saving هو أنت دخلك as a household. The households the income equals C plus S plus taxes. Alright? طب السيفنج تبعك قديش راح يكون؟ هذا الهاوسهولدز اللي هو البيرسونال. بدي اجيب البيرسونال سيفنج. سيفنج equals Y minus C minus T. This is the personal saving. تمام؟ What about the public saving? الجفرمنت سيفنج. ده إذا الجفرمنت محصلة إيرادات أعلى من المنفقة، معنى في كلام في جزء سيفنج منه. هو السيربلس هو السيفنج. مظبوط؟ إذا الببليك سيفنج actually هو السيربلس. أو اللي كان نيجاتيف هو ديفيسيت. لأنه إذا الحكومة محصلة إيراد مليون ومنفقة 800,000 عندهم سيفنج 200. هذا عبارة عن شو؟ هذا الببليك سيفنج أو الجفرمنت سيفنج هو equals taxes minus government spending T minus G. Okay. So here we can say that the total saving equals personal saving plus public saving. In short, personal saving هيو Y minus C minus T and public saving T minus government spending. طبعا definitely إذا كانت T minus G is bigger than 0 معنى الكلام we have a positive saving, positive public saving. يعني and vice versa إذا كان T is less than government spending we have a negative public saving. So the total saving equals the personal saving Y minus C minus T plus the public saving T minus G. صح؟ So the total saving equals Y minus C minus T plus T minus G. So subtracting t with t, s equals y minus c minus g. This is the total saving in the economy when we have a government, private sector, or the business sector, and the household sector. Okay? تمام? Right. Let's go to something else. Here we have this graph, this is in the horizontal axis. We have the capital stock, as we mentioned. And in the vertical axis here we have the interest rate. Demand for capital is driven by the firm's investment, the negative relationship between the interest rate, which represents the cost of borrowing, and as the interest rate goes down or falls, the more attractive investment becomes for the firm. Supply curve represents the saving decisions to individuals. As interest rate rises, individual delay consumption, and ونعملوا more saving هذا more saving or save more. تمام؟ okay. Okay. Government borrowing crowds out capital in the private market, shifting supply inward. ولا واحد فاهم حاجة يعني definitely صح؟ مر عليكم crowding out؟ تزاحم. ماشي. Let's come back quickly to something or this concept, which is the crowding out. Crowding let us assume that the government decided to use an expansionary fiscal policy, to stimulate the economy. Expansionary fiscal policy. Let us assume we face a recession, and the government, let us assume that we face or we live in a recession period. During the recession, the government should intervene to stimulate the economy by increasing the government spending. أو يعملوا increasing the transfer payments, unemployment benefits. تمام? So the government increases its spending. Increasing G leads to increasing the aggregate expenditures. لأن هذا جزء من دالة مين؟ الإنفاق الكلي. صح؟ أو الطلب الكلي. As the government increases G, aggregate expenditures increases, the aggregate demand for goods increase. صح؟ Demand for goods increased. What will happen? Prices goes up. Prices go up. Prices for goods go up. Demand for labor goes up, or labor demand go up. As the labor demand goes up, we have two effects. Wages go up. Unemployment rate goes down. Employment rate goes up. Smooth. As the wages go up, what will happen? Income goes up.
Savings بتزيد.
I'm not asking about saving here. I will ask about the demand for money, or money demand for transactions. ارجع لي الافكت هذا تبع البرايسز. الاسعار طلعت.
ليش؟
نعم مش ليش. What? Yes, this is the inflation, yes. But what are the main effects for inflation? On the money demand for transactions بيزيد. الاسعار طلعت انت محتاج مصاري اكثر لتشتري. صح؟ So money demand for transactions increased. Something else. الانكم زاد. شو صار في الماني ديماند فور ترانزاكشنز؟ مين بيشتري اكثر؟ الفقير ولا الغني؟ اللي دخله عالي ولا دخله اقل؟ مين بيطلب مصاري اكثر للشراء؟ للترانزاكشنز اللي دخله اعلى. So as the price goes up for goods and the consumer's income goes up, the money demand for transactions definitely goes up. So this leads to increasing the money demand for transactions. Demand for investment. Money demand for investment for speculation. المضاربة بيزيد. اللي معاه مصاري بيضارب. والاسعار طلعت يصير في مضاربات. تمام؟ او الماني ديماند فور ترانزاكشن بيزيد. تمام؟ لانه هذا البرايسز بيطلع كمان على الانبوتس كمان. الانفليشن بيعمل increasing في البرايسز اوف انبوتس. اللي بده يستثمر بده مصاري اكثر. اللي بده يعمل انفستمنت بيطلب مصاري اكثر. شو بصير في الانترست ريتس؟ goes up. عقول هاي عندك انت الماني ماركت، هذا ماني سبلاي، money demand 1. This is the original equilibrium point. Interest rate, quantum money demanded. 1. As the money demand goes up, rightward shifting the money demand curve to MD2. هنروح على E2. Interest rate 2. The interest rate goes up. So here, the interest rate goes up. So the interest rate goes up. شو بصير في السايز اوف انفستمنت؟ احنا عندنا negative relationship between الانفستمنت، هذا الانفستمنت goes down. Interest rate goes up. Investment goes down. الانفستمنت هو جزء من الاجريجيت من الجي دي بي. اذا تتذكروا الواي هو سي بلس اي بلس جي بلس نت اكسبورت او اكس ماينس ام. هذا نزل. شو بصير في الواي؟ راح ينزل. تمام؟ انا ده اجريجيت سوري؟ مش بحلوش المشكله، لا بحل المشكله. بس هذا النزول اللي هان هذا راح يعمل ديكريزنج في الاجريجيت اكسبندتشر ويعمل ديكريزنج في الواي. بس دائما الدراسات بتقول انه السكند سايكل هذا تاثيره قليل. لقيت سؤال. الجورنال سبندنج هذا زاد بدي افترض ب 100 مليون. تمام؟ بدي افترض due to the multiplier effect الواي وين راح الواي؟ هذا الانكم زاد ب 400 مليون. يعني احنا زدنا الجورنال سبندنج ب 100 مليون، الواي انكريز باي 400 مليون. تمام؟ بالسكند ستيج تاثير الانترست ريت الانفستمنت وتاثيره على الواي هنا قد ينخفض الواي ب 20 مليون. بس هذا النزول اللي صار اسمه كراودنج اوت. هذا النزول التزاحم اللي صار هنا بين الانترست ريت والانفستمنت، لانه الانترست ريت طلع عمل ديكريزنج في الانفستمنت وبعدين ديكريزنج في الواي. ديكريزنج قليل لانه تعال خذ الثيرد ستيج راح تكون اقل لحد ما يصل زيرو بالاخر. تمام؟ هذا هيك النزول اللي صار في الواي. due to that increasing the interest rate واللي هو نتيجه انه هذا sensitive الانفستمنت sensitive لمين؟ للانترست ريت. هذا اسمه crowding out. بمعنى احنا عملنا increase في الجفرمنت سبيندنج زاد الواي الجي دي بي، تمام، هذا that's equal، تمام، هذا الجول تبعنا. بس باللونجر ران and the second stage رجع نزل ثاني، بس النزول بسيط. هذا النزول اجى نتيجه الانترست ريت طلع، عمل ديكريس بالانفستمنت، وبالتالي صار عندنا كراودنج اوت. وقتاش بيكون كراودنج اوت ايكوال زيرو؟ ايه؟ لا. Who can give us the answer here؟ وقتاش بيكون كراودنج اوت بيساوي صفر؟ بمعنى لو رفعنا الانترست ريت ما ياثرش على الواي، او لو ارتفع مش رفعنا يعني.
بيكون الانترست ريليفنت للانفستور.
Exactly. When there is no relationship between the interest rate and investment. بسيط. إذا كان شوف الانفستمنت كيرف vertical، يعني هاي الانترست ريت والانفستمنت هو احنا عارفين انه هذا النيجاتيف ريليشن. إذا كان vertical حطوا vertical هيك، خلي الانترست ريت 5%، قديش انفستمنت عندنا $100 مليون، تمام؟ E1 اعمل increasing الانترست ريت، this is I to 7%. لا it's not always vertical. هو it's always there is a relationship between interest rate and investment. As a negative relationship. But sometimes crowding out بيكون إذا if there is no it's an assumption. كيف بيكون crowding out equal zero when there is no relationship between the interest rate والinvestment. وهذا بيحاولوا. لا ممكن يصير. شوف طبعا هذا rare cases حالات نادرة جدا، تمام، بس في جزئية راح نتطرق لها بالامريكان ايكونومي. ليش بتحركوش دائما بالانترست ريت؟ يعني بيحافظوا الكونغرس او المينستر فاينانس عندهم انه الانترست ريت، اقول لك لو واحد حكى الانترست ريت، يعني بيحاولوا انه يضل الانترست ريت حوالين رقم معين، لان اي تحريكه للانترست ريت راح تعمل افكتس على مين؟ على الدولار، الاكسشينج ريت تبع الدولار، وبالتالي بيحرك منظومه العالم كله. فالتحركات دائما اقول اخلي وزير الخزانه يحكي في او معوض البنك المركزي عندهم انه يحكي انه الانترست ريت بدنا نرفعه شوي، شوف شو ايش بصير في الدولار. طبعا جوز اب
لانه الكابيتال انفستمنت يجي من برا فبيزيد الطلب على الدولار عشان يشتري انفستمنت
100%. تمام. طيب I will come back quickly to here. And the last point I think I finished here. طيب if supply goes down or decline, lose saving عمليا. احنا قلنا هذا saving تبع الهاوسهولدز. backward شو بيعمل؟ بيخلي الانترست ريت يطلع، لانه this is the original here point interest rate goes up to R2. size of investment شو بصير فيه؟ له هذا الجزء عملنا crowding out، تمام؟ طيب البوينت لما بكون في عندنا بادجت ديفيسيت، نخلي الجزء يعني هذا المره الجاي بناخذ بس 15 minutes نستكمله ممكن؟
اوكي بعدين
برزنتيشن سوا. يعطيكم العافيه.